Well, earlier today, I interviewed the first whistleblower behind AT&T's cooperation with the NSA. Mark Klein was an AT&T technician for 22 years, and in the early 2000s, he discovered a secret room behind a door with no handle and uncovered the telecom giant's spying space. Now, he wrote a book titled Wiring Up the Big Brother Machine and Fighting It, about his battle to bring his discovery to light. I asked him to describe the moment he realized something at AT&T wasn't right.
Well, I gathered late in 2002 that the NSA was installing a secret room in a nearby office. I gathered this in various ways that technicians talked to each other. And I knew right away this was not legal because the NSA is not supposed to do domestic spying. In the following year, 2003, I was transferred to that office, and I saw the door of that photo I took of the secret door, room 641A. And I gathered some engineering documents because I worked in the internet room, which is one floor above the secret room. And the engineering clearly showed that what they were doing was tapping into the main data flow on the internet and sending that data down to the secret room. And I knew that was totally illegal. The apparatus itself did not provide for any kind of selection. It was just a clean vacuum cleaner sweep of everything. So that violates the Fourth Amendment right there, which requires warrants for specific information. And they weren't being very specific at all. They were sweeping up everything.
Now, that door that you mentioned, what was so unique about that door that really kind of would catch anyone by surprise just walking by it?
Well, the room actually has two doors. And I took pictures of both doors, but everyone's attention was captured by the most famous photo of the second door, which is actually the back door, because it has no handle on the outside, so it looks a little strange.
Now, Mark, did you ever see inside the room or just the room above that was sending information down to the secret room?
I was one time when I was having problem connecting cables that went to the secret room, that it didn't work. And the guy who worked in the secret room invited me in there so he could get another piece of equipment so we could make it work. So I stepped inside for a few minutes. Inside it looks, on the face of it, like any other telecom installation, except that the access was totally restricted to the one guy who was NSA cleared. So it had a bunch of routers in there and a big giant air conditioner to carry away the heat, and a little workstation with a screen.
Now, you said when you understood what was going on here, you knew that it violated the Fourth Amendment. So you took on this cause and you brought up a lawsuit with the Electronic Frontier Foundation that was actually thrown out in 2008 after a vote protected these telecom companies like AT&T that were involved in peering. So at that point, you had known about this for years. What were your frustrations, and why did you remain convicted in exposing what was going on behind that secret door?
Well, I knew it was all totally illegal, which is why the government was so worried about our lawsuit. I was not a plaintiff. I was a witness in this lawsuit filed by the Electronic Frontier Foundation against AT&T in 2006. The government tried to get it dismissed on state secrets grounds, but the judge, to his credit, refused to dismiss it on those grounds. So the government, in sort of a panic, went to Congress to try to get a lawsuit thwarted, which is a pretty unusual precedent right there. So from 2006 to 2008, the White House was trying to get Congress to prevent this lawsuit from going forward. And finally, in 2008, they got a bill passed with the help of both parties and with the help of Barack Obama, I might add, who switched sides to help pass the bill. And the bill gave retroactive immunity for unspecified crimes. They couldn't talk about it, it was secret. For unspecified crimes that may have happened and committed by the phone companies. So it gave retroactive immunity to the phone companies in 2008. And the following year, the judge felt compelled to dismiss the lawsuit.
It was an uphill battle for you as a whistleblower, but now the verdict is out there. The NSA documents just released show the NSA relied heavily upon AT&T's cooperation, calling the company highly collaborative with an extreme willingness to help. Now, you spent the past decade trying to uncover this. What are you feeling now?
Well, I certainly feel vindicated that everything I said about the collaboration was right. They were doing this. It was totally illegal, and they knew it was illegal, which is why they fought so hard to get immunity, because they knew they had committed crimes. They got it covered up. It's not covered up in terms of public knowledge, and that's because of whistleblowers like myself, and also especially Edward Snowden.
Well, author and former AT&T technician Mark Klein, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's no secret that for years, American intelligence agencies have conducted surveillance through the country's largest telecommunications companies. Any doubts of that fact were laid to rest by the Snowden leaks. But a trove of documents spanning between 2003 and 2013 are shining a new light on just how close some of these relationships were between private companies and the federal government. A new report published jointly by the New York Times and ProPublica looks at one company in particular, AT&T. The documents don't reveal the company by name, but through the use of code names, both the New York Times and ProPublica concluded that they do in fact refer to AT&T specifically. According to the leaks, the relationship between the NSA and the telecom giant was non-contractual, but still, quote, highly collaborative. One of the leaked documents described AT&T's, quote, extreme willingness to help. This was in reference to the Fairview project, one of the NSA's oldest programs, dating back to 1985, when the agency first began working with AT&T. Now, AT&T's role as a spying partner spans a wide array of top-secret activities over the course of 10 years. Some of the recent revelations expose the installation of surveillance equipment by the NSA at 17 AT&T internet hubs across the country. Another document points to a 2012 court order for surveillance carried out by AT&T on an internet line serving the headquarters for the United Nations in New York. All in all, the documents highlight how the relationship between AT&T and the NSA blossomed over time. Under Project Fairview, in 2003, the company was sharing 400 billion metadata records over the course of 1 month. By 2011, it was 1.1 billion phone records per day. And by 2013, a streamlined spying apparatus was also intercepting up to 60 million foreign-to-foreign emails every day, thanks to cooperation by AT&T. The latest revelations also show collaboration between the NSA and another telecom giant, Verizon, although the extent of that relationship pales in comparison. Since revelations of NSA spying went public in 2013, debate over state surveillance has become a global issue. But whether or not many of these programs are still operational remains a very tightly guarded secret. Manuel Rapalo, RT Studios, Washington.
New documents show telecommunications giant AT&T sold customer data to local law enforcement departments for a record-making $100K to $1 million last year. The company is currently seeking an $85 billion acquisition deal for Time Warner. Documents show the telecommunications giant was not only working with U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency but routinely sold customer data to local police departments who were investigating a range of crimes from murder to Medicaid fraud. The documents were first reported by the Daily Beast. Follow the Daily Beast at the Daily Beast. AT&T provides the leads, then investigators just happen to find the exact same evidence through police work. http://thebia.st/2e7pch94 p.m. The 25th of October 2016 photo published for AT&T is spying on Americans for profit. New documents reveal AT&T is spying on Americans for profit. New documents reveal the telecom giant is doing NSA-style work for law enforcement, without a warrant, and earning millions a year from taxpayers. TheDailyBeast.com 38 retweets 23 likes under its secretive program called Hemisphere. AT&T could search trillions of call records and analyze cellular data to determine where a target is located, with whom they speak and potentially why. The documents also show the company only required an administrative subpoena, a lower-level legal document which, unlike a search warrant, does not require authorization from a judge. Police departments paid anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million a year for access to the Hemisphere program. Under the agreement, police were prohibited from disclosing use of the program to the public or even in court. Like other communications companies, if a government agency seeks customer call records through a subpoena, court order or other mandatory legal process, we are required by law to provide this non-content information, such as the phone numbers and the date and time of call, AT&T told the Beast in a statement. View image on Twitter. Follow Anna Masogli at Analecta. Must read. AT&T spying on citizens to make millions mining data for police and government surveillance without a warrant. http://fabia.sd/2dftttpl 1:33 p.m. The 25th of October 2016. Washington, D.C., United States. 36 retweets 26 likes because of the ban on disclosing the existence of the Hemisphere program. Law enforcement agencies were covering their bases by later seeking a court order for a wiretap, or trailing a suspect to gather evidence equivalent to what they had acquired through Hemisphere. Unlike other telecommunications providers, AT&T stores metadata, call time, duration, location data, of its customers going back to 2008. AT&T was one of the first companies to be exposed for its role in government surveillance when it shared its customers' metadata with the NSA. Mark Klein, a former AT&T technician and whistleblower, revealed details about the NSA installing network hardware at a San Francisco, California site known as Room 641A to monitor, capture and process American telecommunications, beginning in 2002. I knew this wasn't legal, because the NSA is not supposed to do domestic spying, Klein told RT in an interview in 2015. He said the engineering documents showed they were tapping into the main data flow on the internet and sending that data down to the secret room. I knew that was totally illegal. The apparatus itself did not provide for any kind of selection. It was just a vacuum cleaner sweep of everything. That violates the Fourth Amendment right there, which requires warrants for specific information, Klein said. AT&T was also known to have a partnership, through its Hemisphere program, with the DEA for the purpose of counter-narcotics operations. The revelations come as AT&T's proposed $85 billion acquisition of Time Warner has surveillance critics and privacy advocates alarmed. Jeffrey Chester, executive director of the Center for Digital Democracy, told the Daily Beast he opposed the merger because it would allow AT&T to use Time Warner's content as bait to invade every aspect of the lives and habits of its nearly 30 million wired customers of its broadband and television services, many through its DirecTV subsidiary, and its more than 100 million wireless subscribers. It's commercial surveillance, Chester told the Beast, noting that through mobile devices, AT&T can even pinpoint the geographical locations of users.